Hi everyone, Sarah here. I'm here to talk to you about the week in the life of a small group leader. Now, Pastor Steve's already talked to you about how you set up a small group and what that's going to look like on a big scale, but you are in charge of leading 8 to 16 people. And I want to talk to you about how that looks for you. Now, every week you're going to have a meeting, and when you get to that meeting, it is your job to start the meeting on time. You'll have a start time set. Everyone should show up. We know not everyone's on time. We love them, bless their hearts. So you have that 15-minute buffer where you can socialize and kind of let it flow naturally. My group meets Wednesday nights at 6:30. We start at 6:30 so that we can be done by 8 o'clock because people need to kiss their kids goodnight. So we know starting at 6:30 is important. We're going to say hi to everyone, catch up a little bit, and then by 6:45, we're going to start on the questions. We have icebreaker questions to start, and that'll just naturally lead into deeper discussion with the other questions that the small group ministry team prepares for you ahead of time. So go through those questions, but then when it gets close to 8 o'clock, I know that my group needs to sign off. There are a few that will linger, and that's totally fine. That's a sign that you're building significant relationships. Again, that's the goal. Wonderful. But we need to respect those people that need to sign off at a certain time. They need to get home. They need to kiss their babies, walk their dogs, prep for tomorrow. So it's your job to be respecting them in signing off at a certain time. The next thing we have going on is you get to pray for your people. And that's a really beautiful time where you can show them the love of God and His heart for them by praying over them. You're going to talk about the things that they're struggling with or the things that they're celebrating, and you just get to live life with them through prayer, talking to God about them. Now, Pastor Steve did talk about size of group. We have 8 to 16 as our goal window. But if you're doing good, it's going to grow, and that's a marvelous thing. So what you want to do is when you start your group, keep an eye out for somebody you think has natural leadership abilities. These are the people that are really warm, that just make you feel at home, people who answer the questions quickly and naturally, people who don't mind praying. And when you see that person, you want to pull them aside and say, hey, I just want you to start thinking about the fact that you might be called to lead a group someday. And continue that conversation with them over the weeks and months. And if your group does get to that point where it needs to stop growing more, then you pull that person aside and you say, I think it's time. I think that it's time for you to take any newbies and you go and do your own group. We're not asking you to break your group up. We don't want to see half of your group go with the new leader and half of them stay with you, because that just hurts, right? If the goal is significant relationships, you don't want to break those up. But that one person who's called to be another leader, they can go and start a new group. Let's talk about praying as a small group leader. Now, there's a couple different areas that you're going to pray in. One, you're going to lead prayer during your group gathering, okay? You can do that by yourself, or you can incorporate the whole group. You can say, let's pray for the person on your right if your group's comfortable with praying. But sometimes there's those people who just don't feel comfortable praying out loud. And it's your job to kind of model what that looks like during the meeting. So you can lead for a while and then invite others to do so. The other area that you're going to be praying for your people is through the week. You know what's going on with your people. That's the whole goal of significant relationships. You know when so-and-so's got a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, and you can send a text saying, hey, I'm praying for you. I know today's going to be hard. That is the goal. You want to check in throughout the week. Let them know you're thinking of them. Drop a coffee card off, or maybe bring them a coffee. It's your job to kind of facilitate those deep, meaningful relationships. And it's a joy to do so, right? So we're going to do that throughout the week, not just at your meeting. The last thing that we need to talk about when you're doing your small group throughout the week is attendance. Now you might say, Sarah, that is the most boring part. Do I really have to take attendance? I know who was there. They know if they were there or not. Why do we do attendance? And the point of attendance is just to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. We want to say, I see you, I noticed you weren't here, and I care, right? So that is the goal of attendance. You take it every week because sometimes life gets crazy and you might accidentally miss that Susie was gone for 3 weeks in a row. She needs you to check in on her. Keeping attendance is a really easy way to keep track of that. As a leader, your heart is really to shepherd your people. You want to see them growing. You want to see them flourishing. You want to see God working in their lives. And that is a good desire. Your job is to love them and encourage them and not make the growth happen. We got to trust that God is in control, right? This is not an opt-out. This is not a say like, sit back, just relax, God will do his thing. No, you are involved. You are actively engaged in their lives. But you have to recognize God is in control. Only He can make that change happen. And so we trust that He will make that growth happen in the time that He desires.